first part of our trip on El Camino Del Diablo would take us across the Barium Goldwater bombing range. Okay, we are on Camino del Diablo. Right now we're on our way to the Fortuna mine. We made the turn off from the main road going cross country now. Need to stay on the roads, don't go off the road. This is what the sign says, because there's unexploded ordnance. Not sure what mountain range that is, but I'll look it up and show it. We stopped at the old Fortuna mine site for lunch and to look around. Discovered by chance in 1894, it produced 123,000 ounces of gold before it was closed in 1904. We're still on Camino del Diablo. Camino del Diablo. And this is the sandy section. And we're headed for post in the ground number 10, where we're going to decide if we're going to take that pass across the mountains or go farther south. We are just about to Tenaja's Pass, which is going through the mountains up here, probably about 3 miles away. We stopped at post A11, talked to 3 people from the Arizona Game and Wildlife, or Fish and Wildlife, something like that. They got some local information. They were trapping animals and doing species counts. I asked them if the roadrunner I saw counted, and they said no, it didn't. I also saw a ground squirrel go zipping across the road. While we're at A11, Border Patrol stopped, and he was also a wealth of information and told us about where to camp when we got over the Tenaja's Pass. He said Tule Well would be better than Papago Wells because Tule Well doesn't get as much drug traffic going across the border right there. Looks like we hit a microclimate that's just right for saguaro cactus. There's some pronghorns. No, actually they are...
Get a picture. What were they? Oh my God, they're sheep. They're mountain goats.
So to the left, I believe, gets us to C19, and to the right here on this track gets us to High Tanks. There's a sign that says High Tanks.
Yep, that'd be nice. But it has to be road to them.
Or a hiking trail at least, with a parking area.
because it said no camping within a quarter-mile of Arizona water.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think this is it over to the right here. Although there's no water in them.
So we are just past High Tanks and into a small forest of saguaro cactus. Must be another microclimate right here. Pretty amazed at how there are just little areas that are just right for certain cactus and not others, and just fascinating. Completing the Berry Goldwater portion of El Camino del Diablo, we headed for the campground at Tule Wells in the Cabeza Prieta National Wildlife Refuge. At this point, we were about 2 miles from the Mexican border. Saw a black-tailed deer or antelope. One of the hardest parts of driving El Camino del Diablo is crossing the dry washes. They are shallow, hard to see, and sometimes close together. All this can raise havoc with your suspension. The mountains to the right are actually in Mexico. Which is pretty amazing. We are right down on the border, or close to it in this area. Last night around the campfire we saw a
Channel mode.
Kangaroo rat jumping around, which was kind of interesting. Little suckers are quick. Oh! Just saw a jackrabbit run across the road. Huge ears.
Again, the privilege of being in the front. Now, tell me again why you wanted to take this one instead of the 4Runner.
I wanted to be able to basically throw my lawn chair out and not unpack like you have to do. This road is really deep.
The route is deep, yeah. We're very close to the border again. Look how deep it is. I can't... has to be worn down quite a bit.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Well, we just got off of one section, and now we're going across the lava field. This is going to be slow and bumpy. The section we just got off of was incredibly smooth running, just really nice. Nice sandy surface. Little dips here and there. Very nice to drive on.
So where do you think the volcano was?
I'm not sure. There's a black hill over to our left, just in front of the mountains.
That's what I was suspecting. Maybe it was just a vent. It wasn't a complete volcano.
This is a nice little area right through here. Must be a bunch of moisture right here. Well, we got the lava flow on the right, and a little bit of desert on the left. Right now we're sandy, and the van's a little wide for going through the bushes, so I got lots of pinstripe. And this tire says stop drag. So that means we're off the lava. And the Border Patrol drags tires behind it to smooth the road out so that they can see footprints of anybody crossing it. We are coming up on Camp Drip, D-R-I-P. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. The Border Patrol guy didn't say why it was named that. But Border Patrol outpost, just west of Papago Well. Coming up on more saguaro cactus. and the suckers are in bloom. At least some of them are. Excuse me. The road surface has changed again. This is more like a dirt road that's been graded recently and had water put on top of it. Although there's still a lot of dust coming up in the back of me. Coming up on another Border Patrol camp. Looks like they got some construction going on.
What do you say? What did you say you were doing?
I'm stopping by the Border Patrol space to read the signs on Organ Pipe. Leaving the wildlife refuge, we entered Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. Our route would take us south and then east along the Mexican border. We are driving the road that is almost as close to the border as you can get. We're at the south edge of Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. And you should be able to see a much better view of the current vehicle fence. Basically concrete filled posts with a railroad tie, or rather railroad rail going horizontally, and then there's barbed wire above and below the rail. And we are just about off the dirt. Just coming to the stop sign at the road.
There you are. We're going to air up at the pavement?
Sure. Okay, we are back on pavement, heading north to Organ Pipe Cactus Campground and the visitor center there. Beautiful view of the mountains up front. And it just seems a little strange after 2 days of being on dirt and gravel to be on pavement. We did a whole bunch of miles and a whole bunch of gas. Had a great time. So Organ Pipe is where we're going to spend the night and get some showers and then head out in the morning.